Hi there, you're watching another episode of the Fourth Stump with four blokes who love to talk cricket in Ed, Rob, Ross and Roy. How are you three doing today?
Good.
Yeah, all good, thanks, mate.
Good, thanks, Ed. Right, cheers, mate.
Lovely. We, as always, are four blokes who love to talk cricket. Things that has changed this week. My hair, drastic one, short back and sides. Also, our love for football and European clubs as fans throughout the world has been shaken this week, rightly so. But don't worry. We're here to talk cricket and we're here to give you a good time on that. We are live still on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Please check out our content, message us directly and watch our videos. Things that haven't changed this week. The games continue to be nail biters, so exciting. And also KKR's and the Royals' fortunes. Both of us, our teams getting smashed over the last couple of weeks, Roy. First of all, we're going to do a roundup of the IPL games that have happened this week. And we're going to start with RCB, who beat firstly my KKR and then Roy's Royals convincingly. What do you think of RCB? Like when you watched them today, Roy, what was your feeling on the game?
Where did you start? I mean, the thing is, when someone like Kohli and Padikkal opened the batting, I said before this actually in one of the previous videos that Padikkal was one to watch because I watched a bit of him last season when he first came in, and he played some strokes that I can only really liken to almost like Yuvraj Singh. The style he's got and the grace and the elegance he plays his cover drives with. And he shots down the ground as well. He holds the bat so straight, which is just brilliant to see. And Kohli having him alongside him. I mean, obviously, Padikkal took a while to get going. I'm glad that they've stuck with him. But watching them two in full flow is just, it's devastating as a Royals fan, obviously. But to watch them two is just absolutely. It's the best in the world. I mean, this is what we love cricket for.
Thrilling stuff. And taking it back to the weekend, Rob, and KKR's lost. Maxwell hitting 76. Maxwell hitting 78. De Villiers hitting 76. Yeah. Patel 2 wickets for 17. He's picking up a lot of wickets recently in the death overs. Your man Maxwell again.
Yeah, I was going to point out that today it was a story of Kohli and Padikkal, but the game against KKR was two different men in Maxwell and De Villiers. So. How do we beat these people now? Where do we go with them? The only thing I'd say on Patel today is he went for a lot of runs today. Although he took same against KKR, he just picked up those late wickets. I think he did it. Was it against Mumbai where he picked up Pfeiffer? Was it? But three of them were in the last over against basically bowlers that were just hitting out.
He'll be right up there on the purple cap standings. The purple cap standings, of course, is for the taker. There's a orange cap as well for the most runs scored by a batsman as well. But it seems to dilute it a little bit, doesn't it? When
it does definitely,
last over wickets falling. Ross, your thoughts on RCB?
Yeah, I've already mentioned Maxwell. And AB de Villiers. We've been watching him for years. We know what they're both about. Maxwell's the big dog. He's had a dip in form last few years, but it seems to be coming back with a bang this year. He's in the top 5 run scorers. And the other thing with Maxwell is he's just started to bowl as well. He didn't bowl in his first few games, but now he is. One thing I will say against the game against KKR, I picked Jameson as one of my standout players. He took 3 wickets. It was expensive for 41 runs, but on a track like that, which was a high-scoring ground, to take 3 wickets for 41 actually wasn't that bad returns. Chalao also came through with 2 for 34. Extremely disappointed with the Kolkata batting. Top run scorer Russell, 31 from 20, and Morgan second on that, 29 from 23. It's not good enough. It's not good enough from the Kolkata openers, especially. If you're relying on Russell to hit 31 off of 20, it's not something's failed there, and it was pretty evident that on the day the better team was Bangalore, by a massive way.
Now move on to Sunrisers Hyderabad and their only game since we last met against the Punjab Kings, won by 9 wickets. Bairstow 63, Warner 74. First time to see Kane Williamson as well.
Oh, another sorry state of affairs for Punjab Kings. We will change name, but we'll still be just as useless. Warner and Bairstow, when they open, and they get in, they finish games. They could probably chase anything when they're in together. We know how good Johnny Bairstow is. Once he gets in, generally he always goes on and scores a big one. I think Warner would have been gutted to not finish the game with Bairstow, but it was good to see Kane Williamson come in and just see him over the line, chasing a very small target anyway, so no real pressure. Although it was a bit of a tricky pitch, so they still done well to make it look easier than probably what it was. But yeah, very, probably great for them to get their first win on the board. And I saw Warner smiling for once, which is good.
Yeah, it was perfect getting Kane Williamson in when they needed him, really, because before that they weren't sure where to have Bairstow. I think they had him batting fourth twice and stuff like that, and they're just middle order just wasn't performing. So Kane Williamson just steadies the ship up in the middle, doesn't it? So now they can.
Yeah, the only thing is with performances like that, you don't learn much, do you? You don't really learn much from the middle and lower orders, which is something that will be tested obviously in the tournament.
Standouts were in the bowling. Ahmed 3 wickets for 21. Terrific stuff.
Yeah, the bowling was probably, for me, it was actually the standout of the game. I mean, yeah, fair enough. They chased it with 1 wicket down. They only had 1 bowler there with an economy of over 6, and that was Siddharth Cole. I mean, he took him a wicket. I mean, Rashid Khan 1 for 17 off of his 4 overs, economy rate of 4.2. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, I mean, as amazing as always, 1 for 16 off his 3 overs. I'm surprised he didn't bowl out actually, but yeah, amazing bowling performance by Hyderabad. We all know that they've got an absolute fantastic team.
I stopped short of mentioning Rashid Khan's figures again because I'm just getting too used to using it. We've got to have some different content every now and then, haven't we?
It's worth pointing out as well, Cole was the only one that hit over 6, but the average economy over 6, but it was only 7.4. You'd be really happy with that, wouldn't you, in an all game?
Absolutely.
On now to Delhi Capitals. I'm going to ask you, Ross, about both these games. They beat the Punjab Kings by 6 wickets and your Mumbai Indians as well by 6 wickets. Darwan 92, Rabada and Wokes in the first game, in the Punjab first game, they went for quite high figures. They went for 42 and 43, but Darwan there 92, terrific. What was your thoughts on those 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I'd like to just take a special mention for Darwan. I mean, he right now does have the orange cap. I mean, unbelievable. And I mean, we're just talking about Glenn Maxwell when he's on form. But wow, when Darwan's on form as an opener, like again, he's another one of these players that win a game single-handedly.
World class, yeah.
World class. I mean, he even got man of the match against the Punjab Kings, 92 from 9. I mean, Shaw got 32 from 17. Stoinis got 27 from 13. It was obviously an absolute batter's paradise. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Ashwin was the greatest economy in that game against Punjab, 0 for 28 off his 4 overs. They fared really well against my Mumbai as well. I mean, when Rohit Sharma come out and he scored 44 off 30, I was thinking, we're in here. And as we've seen on this track in Chennai, this pitch just slows down. Once the ball gets a bit more soft, the wickets just tumble. Mishra from Delhi got 4 for 24. I mean, wow, that's unbelievable bowling. And also Stoinis, he got 1 for 20 off his 3 overs. It just looked a different class. So they definitely look top 4 class to me, Delhi. They've got it with the bat. I mean, Darwan, 45 or 42. Smith, 33 off 29. Completely different track, but still, Darwan's still doing the business. So, yeah, they look good for me this year.
That well win from Mishra, of course, yeah, like you mentioned, 4 wickets. Used to play for your Chennai, Rob, a couple of years back.
Yeah.
They bought him back in, and
Very experienced.
Absolute treat, didn't it? I think there's a few players around the IPL who have that experience that some of these teams can utilise moving forward. But we'll see. Just
want to mention there what Ross said there, like Steve Smith coming in and would he get like 23 odd? That is perfect for that track. You just need someone to just stand there, rotate strike with 20, 25 balls, and then you get yourself chasing the target down, keep the wickets in hand, and chase it late.
Yeah, it seems to be a special breed of player. I mean, we've already spoke about Kane Williamson and Steve Smith. I mean, they're another class of their own. But not every batsman can do it. You think, it's easy to just hit singles, but it just goes to show that maybe it's not that easy.
When I go to the next team, Punjab Kings, and I'll go to Roy because he's dying to have his say on this one. So Punjab Kings lost to Delhi Capitals, who we've just mentioned, by 6 wickets, and also lost to Sunrisers Hyderabad by 9 wickets. What's your thoughts on their progress?
They're just dreadful, aren't they? They're just dreadful. I mean, the players they've got in their team, you expect so much more. And like I said, I get upset being a Royals fan because, I'm passionate about cricket. I'm passionate about my Rajasthan Royals. But if you was a Kings fan, you'd want to jump off a building, wouldn't you, watching them? You just would. You just watch them and you think to yourself, come on, guys, like, how many more times can someone like Chris Gow and KL Rowe and Agarwal. I mean, Agarwal last season got 424 runs last season. He looks all at sea. I know he'd done quite well against Delhi. He looked a little bit better, but still, I just think this side is just going nowhere again. I think it's yet another sorry state of affairs for this side. And I mean, you do feel for them a little bit because they've got such terrific players and such terrific talent. Yeah, at the minute it's just like, you know, it's going nowhere fast, and something's got to change. I don't quite know what you do, you know, to change it up, because they've got a lot of top class batsmen.
Yeah. Just want to point out as well, it's so harsh to watch Poran out there. I think he went for a duck first game, and then the other two he's been run out without facing a ball. You know,
he can't run out. Yeah, poor sod. And he's someone that if he could get going, he could actually, you know, be a really good middle order batsman. But
yeah,
and we know he's got power. But at the same time, just yet another sorry state of affairs for Punjab Kings. Changed the name, still dreadful.
Yeah.
Discounting the Sunrisers game, in which Khan and Arguel top scored with 22. I mean, you can't expect to win any games when your top batsmen are only getting 22 runs. But apart from that, they can show that they can hit some runs. But they're so expensive with the ball that any runs they get going forward, like, it's just going to be chased down by the loose bowling that they have.
I still think Richardson will come good at some point. It might come later in the season, might come next season, but it's no good this early on.
Every single episode we're mentioning him, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just like to add one more point, Roy, and this is a bit of a personal attack on you, mate, but currently 7th in the table, Punjab Kings, with one loss. With a better run rate than your Royals, who have 1 loss 3. They were completely bottom of the ladder. So what does that say about Royals, eh?
It's worth pointing out that Roy thought that they were going to finish in the top 4 at the start of the season.
Honestly, my predictions this year have been absolutely shambolic. That's all I can explain them. They've been shocking. I haven't got one right.
CSK, next team now. They beat the Rajasthan Royals by 45 runs and also beat KKR by 18 runs as well. Rob, I'm going to come to you. Your team, of course, just looking very, very good.
Brilliant. We've just shown this season how good we can be with the bat. Some of them can be great with the ball. And Jadeja's fielding again. I know it gets pointed out a lot, but my God, what a fielder he is.
He's been...
It's like, I think Dhoni pointed out in the past, it's like the ball's like magneted to him. Like it just goes in the air and it just jumps straight to Jadeja somehow.
Yeah. Moeen Ali, 3 for 7. 2 point whatever economy, absolutely fantastic. And Duplessis as well done the
and
job.
Chahal as well. I think he went for 7.2 against KKR. Just brilliant. He's taken 7 wickets in the 2 games against Royals and the KKR.
Yep. And Duplessis as well. First of all against Rajasthan, 33 from 17. And in the Kolkata game as well, he absolutely smashed it. 95
off 60, was it?
Yep, 95 off 60. Well, 64 off 42.
Brilliant. And Gatewad finally has come to the party as well.
He has indeed.
Everyone's been slating him. I've been saying, let's just give him a chance. The young man is, been hearing good things about what he's been doing locally and, in a domestic
because privately off of this, we had a chat, didn't we? And I said to you, I'd pull him. I'd pull him.
And I'd say, no, just leave him there for a bit longer.
And I think you and Ross both said, leave him in there, give him a chance. And he's...
Well, he hit 350s at the back end of last season. And he's coming to this season not started well, but I don't think you can try. I mean, also, who do you bring in? I mean, you've got like Euthopa or something, 35-year-old. Why do that when you've got this 24-year-old showing potential? Give him a few more games.
We'd just like to say as well on Chennai. I mean, I'd actually just like to say a big thank you for Chennai and that Kolkata game, because for me, it was probably the most entertaining game of this season in terms of the big hitting games. We've had lots of low scoring ones.
Unbelievable.
They've been great to watch, but this was a real run fest. So I'd like to say a massive thank you to Chennai and Kolkata for that. It's a great game.
Oh yeah, what a game! What a game!
Chennai just seemed to have something this year, which I think was missing last year. They've got great all-rounders that at the moment are performing really well. I mean, Sam Curran's doing really well. Moeen Ali he got off to an absolute flyer. Got Faf just hitting runs for fun. DJ Bravo's in amongst the runs. Like, I
thought it was quite harsh actually. They dropped Bravo after hitting 20 off 8 to basically get us over the line. But then Ngidi came and he took 3 wickets. So. And then we've still got Berendorf to come into that team. Does Berendorf now replace Ngidi after the 7 economy and taking 3 wickets?
I don't think so. Not immediately. Ngidi, I think, is a great player. I think I told you.
I think he was just resting Bravo, wasn't he? He's just.
What then? Who does he replace?
Well, this is it. What great problem to have, though.
Yeah.
Certainly do envy that. Rajasthan Royals then. Roy lost by 45 runs to CSK. They played Bangalore today as well in the absolute demolition job against your team. Anything to grasp onto?
It's just upsetting, mate. It's so upsetting. I mean, it's just all gone wrong for us, isn't it? I mean,
we really felt for you in the WhatsApp group. We were sending you messages.
I mean, even going back to things like Archer, and Stokes and all this stuff. I've kept on trying to shrug it off and say, no, it don't matter, it don't matter. but we look woeful, don't we? We're rightly so at bottom of the ladder because we just haven't been good enough. It's all well and good, with that big knock that Samson had the other day, but you can't do that once and then get out for 1 and 4 or whatever it was in the next 2 games. It's just not good enough, And the shot selections, I mean, Sangakkara must be sitting there thinking, what are you guys playing at?
What was Morris doing today? That shot Morris played to get out, I do not know where that came from.
Oh, it's just embarrassing, mate. The whole thing's just embarrassing. Josh Butler suddenly has just lost anything. I mean, today he just exposed all 3 stumps. They're still in the power play. You've got terrific bowlers bowling there. You only just thought, what, I'll just let the ball hit the stumps. He's done a Maxwell. It's unbelievable. And then Manan Vora as well. He's coming. I mean, get him out. Someone get him out, please. We need to get Jaiswal in there. He's a young Indian batsman. He's terrific last season. Get him in at the top of that order and get Vora out. You've had your time, mate. Gone. Get out. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Although one good thing, Dube is still looking like a terrific player. Plays some great shots. His shot selection seems quite good as well. He's quite smart as well. I like the fact that sometimes he'll get a boundary, whether it's fortunate or not. And the next ball, he's not looking to smoke it for 4 or 6. He's looking to get off strike, which is very smart on these tricky wickets against good bowlers.
Like so, Roy, I think you summed up the Royals pretty well, and I think really I do actually fear massively for the Royals this year, and I'll tell you why. Because the only one game they did win was just for a piece of brilliance from Chris Morris. If it weren't for him, you'd be 4th. You'd be 1-0, lost 4. So I do worry for the Royals, for moving forward.
One positive shout for the Royals. I think I've seen the shot of the tournament from Tawatia so far. Is two-handed backhand tennis shot that I put in the group. I'll try and put it up. I'll try and put it on our Facebook group as well when I find it. But just it's sheer audacity to try something like that. It's like 2 balls after the.
He looks very good today. He came in second ball. He swept for 6, middle of the bat. Brilliant. If Archer was fit and playing, he'd be taking more of the early overs, and you'd have Morris in the death overs, which is what he's brought in for. You'd have had him 2 of the 4 death overs, and even Stokes, he might have even had an over or 2 in the middle.
Yeah, but then against the Kings, Unadkat, who's an experienced bowler, for 4 overs went for 40 with no wickets. Not good enough.
I think he's a bit unlucky to miss out today, actually, Unadkat. I think I've been impressed with him more than others over the last few games. And the last thing to mention on Royals is that still no replacement as yet for Ben Stokes. Looking at what we're seeing, they should really be stepping up their efforts to find, if not another sort of batsman, another experienced death over specialist, or somebody who just doesn't go for so many runs. I
think Sangakkara needs to get his cricket gear on, mate, and get out there and show him how it's done. How much do we miss Sangakkara playing cricket? Oh.
Comment in the section below. Find us on Facebook and Twitter under the Fourth Stump tag. Mumbai Indians lost to DC by 6 wickets, and they play tomorrow against Punjab Kings. Mishra dominance against your DC. You just didn't have an answer. He took those 4 wickets in quick succession, and then you couldn't rebuild off of it. Ross, what did you think of your Mumbai?
It was a strange game, because I tipped Mumbai to win before because they'd had the experience on the track. It wasn't even being biased on my team being Mumbai. It was literally because you'd think having the 3rd game there on the same track, with having the same 2 conditions and understanding the conditions of that track, I just thought we'd have the experience. But, it was a strange game. Rowe hit 44 or 30. Yadav 24 or 15. Kishan 26 off 18. I mean, that's 3 of the top 4 fired in terms of the way that track was. But after that, the collapse was just amazing. Pandya went out for a duck. Pollard 2 from 5. Shahar. But, we had Bumrah and Bolt facing balls. I mean, that you never really see that from Mumbai. So I have to say on that, fantastic bowling from Delhi. But I mean, even just our bowlers, we didn't turn up. Pollard got a wicket of Steve Smith, which for me was one of the moments of the game, because when I was watching, I was expecting Pollard to get absolutely tanked. So when he got that was a nice surprise. But I never really felt Mumbai were in the game. The first 4 games of Mumbai, won 2, lost 2. sitting in the middle of the table. I'm not worried yet. We've still got the team to fight. We are still early days, but yeah, just a couple of weeks signs from Mumbai on a slow track for sure.
I was the one in the last review that we did to point out some of the faults in Mumbai, and I did say that I thought DC would find them a bit better than anyone else would. But the middle and late order collapses, or sort of just not enough, really. I know the track's a bit slow later on, but it's just not enough from the side really to be saying that they're the best team in it. And I just could see players like Steve Smith coming in at that track, and as I said earlier, just getting 20 off 20. And that being enough to just push them on and just push them that little bit further, closer to the line. And that's just not what other teams have done. KKR and Sunrisers all collapsed against you, and that's why you beat them. But I didn't see that was going to happen.
Though, I mean, you don't often see... Sorry, Rob, sorry to talk over something. You
right.
don't often see Trent Boult with no wickets. I think, was it 23 runs he went for off his 4 overs? And did he bowl a no ball as well in the death overs as well, which is very, I'm sure he did, and very unlike him. And then to have Pollard bowl in the last over, I didn't quite get that. I mean, Rohit Sharma's normally quite astute with where he puts his bowlers, and I think might have lost the plot a little bit there in that match, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I've got to go with Mumbai win just on the fact that Kings have been absolutely dreadful. This isn't to put Mumbai on a pedestal. I mean, they're just absolutely dreadful. So yeah, Mumbai win for me there.
I'll let you two say your bit, Ed and Roy. What do you think tomorrow's game?
I've got a slight feeling. I'm waiting for an upset. There hasn't really been many upsets today. I thought Royals would try something today, but I don't know. Kings are just too bad. They're just too bad.
Roy?
Game tomorrow is in Chennai again. It's on the same track. So on experience, I've got it in the bag. But I said that against Delhi.
What do you think, Roy?
Somebody will turn up.
I can't see anything other than a Mumbai win, to be honest. It'd be great to see it upset. It'd be great to see the players of Kings, really turn up. But I mean, on their day they can. I mean, we know what Gale can do. He can blow teams away. We want to see that really. I would love to see a run fest, but I can't see it. I'm afraid. I think Mumbai are too good, and I think they'll beat them quite easily.
I might be the only person in the world that thinks this, but I actually strongly think Kings will win this game. I still, and I'll tell you why.
He loves it. He loves it.
I'll tell you why. Last time, Mumbai, as I keep saying about Mumbai, they're expected Bumrah, Boult to come in those last few overs and absolutely destroy teams, and that's happened. But Kings rely heavily on their early order. They could get those if they could win the game early on in the first 15 overs. They might not even need to come to them last few overs.
You just can't see it from their batsmen at the minute, though, can you? You don't. They don't.
What, are you going to say that Gale can't hit balls now because he's had, Gale has hit a few? Are we going to say Pooran suddenly turned into a terrible batsman because he's been run out twice? Are we going to say that Milan can't play if he turns up in that game, if they put him in?
I mean, he should be in the game. He should be in the team anyway, if you ask me, but we'll probably come to that later. No, I don't. It's not their terrible batsmen. The form that they're in, coming up against someone like Mumbai, is not a good time. But you might be right, Rob. I mean, I can't.
I just think it's horses for courses. So far. I think it's horses for courses, and they're going to be going for it early, whereas Mumbai always go for it late. And I think if they go for it late in this game, it might miss a trick.
Last team then, Kolkata, and it's very worrying times. I mean, I'm seeing they're doing a sort of Amazon-like documentary of the Kolkata Knight Riders as we're going, and the clips from the dressing room are quite good. You see Owen Morgan there saying, "Right, we've got to take heart from what's happened today, and we'll come back stronger." But I'm not seeing how. I mean, we're getting Kohli and Padikkal out against RCB for low figures, but then Maxwell and de Villiers come in and smash it. Both our games against Bangalore and CSK, not only one bowler was below an 8.5 economy, and it's just not acceptable enough. Even though Russell stepped up for the RCB game, 38 off 12, and also stepped up 54 off 22 on the last game, and Cummings as well with his fantastic knock. I mean,
what a knock! What a knock! Cummings
so close to the end. If only someone had stood up. I mean, Kartik stood up that game as well. That was one thing that I really wanted to see. But yeah, it was just like deja vu, really, with those two games. Too many runs with the ball, and then you're chasing a huge total, and more players need to stand up at the right times. But just one mention for that delivery, Curran to Russell, to absolutely do him over and bang leg stump. He thinks, and Russell's there sitting on the steps, just going, "Damn,
smart bowling."
He was well in the zone there to smash it easily. And it's such a shame we haven't seen something like that from either Pollard, Gale, or or Russell so far, but it has the makings of us seeing something like that.
It was a good delivery. Yeah, brilliant delivery.
What's the ball?
Personally, I don't know why he's left it.
It was smart bowling. He expected the ball to be. He
Then
expected the ball to.
cover your stumps with your bum.
Under the cosh, Sam.
Rob, the reason why it was the moment of the IPL was because every single bowler was bowling wide along the tram line. So when Russ got up, he went to the cross. Sam Curran hit it down the leg side. Russell thought,
So clever.
That's going wide. And it was the moment for the IPL because little Pikachu-looking Sam Curran, little dibbly-dobbly, cute little pie-faced Sam Curran comes in and gets and it was pure bliss. It was exactly what we love cricket for.
Yeah,
Incredible bowling, and he'd been knocked around a bit as well, wasn't he? In that game, I think he got smashed about.
Every game late on.
To still have the confidence to do that, I think he's a terrific bowler. I know Rob hates the Curran brothers. I mean, we all know he hates them, but I think to be honest with you, Sam Curran has gone to this IPL and done nothing but make England proud.
He's done well with that, hasn't he?
I put a tweet out the other day saying, keep it going, Sammy.
I won't be bigging up his bowling too much, but he's done well with the bat, certainly.
Last thing on Kolkata, we really need to win both of our next games, really, against Rajasthan Royals and the Punjab Kings. Coming at the right time to play two teams also out of form, but hopefully we can assert a bit of dominance there. Keep watching our Facebook channel. We're going to be reviewing all the games coming up over the weekend and next week as well. We got Kings against Mumbai tomorrow. We got Rajasthan against Kolkata. Sunday double header. Kings Punjab Kings against RCB, and Sunrisers against Delhi. Then Monday Kings against KKR, and Tuesday Delhi against RCB. So then we'll be bringing you another video like this shortly afterwards. As I say, we're on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our YouTube video for more content. We hope you enjoyed. I've been Ed.
I've been Rob.
Royston.
Ross.
Thank you very much for listening.